Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Can We Talk podcast. I'm your host, Raw Wisdom, Real, and Rayvon. And today's topic is a man's perspective on expressing their feelings and emotions, and why is it so hard and challenging for them to do so in the African American community and be judged by doing so in a negative way. And so, we find that we see it, and some women embrace and understand it, and then there's a whole lot that just don't. And when I have spoken to men in reference to this, they say it's because a woman will make them feel like they're weak, or they're acting like a woman and a man shouldn't act like that. And so I'm here today, and these two men are going to express, their thoughts and concerns and just their feedback on um, things that they have been through. I'm sure at a point in time in their life, they didn't feel comfortable with expressing their feelings or emotions. Not really sure if they even feel comfortable this day and time. So, first, I want to, thank each and every one of you for joining us. Be a friend, tell a friend, invite some people. And then also some point time in the show towards the end, we will be, allowing you all to call in. I put the phone number in the thread, and then it's going to be going across the screen as well for you if you want to call in and ask specific questions to the two men or even myself, depending on what your question is, and what it is that you're trying to, what answer it is that you're trying to get um, from the cast. So don't be shy. You don't have to say your name if you don't want to. If you do, come on in and introduce yourself, ask the question, and we'll go from there. So, Real, I guess we'll start with you on how do you feel about men, and as far as them expressing their feelings and what's so challenging about it, and so forth.
Well, to start with, it's pretty much like you said. Sometimes a man he kind of shies away from expressing himself because how the world perceives him. Shouldn't have to be like that. Especially when you express yourself to your woman. But I've known of situations where that can even be worse because a woman they hit him with the oh you acting like a little bit and you all in your feelings and blah blah blah. But what really aggravates you about that is when you don't express yourself. Now all of a sudden you in a shell or you got this wall up. You won't tell me what's on your mind. To me, you got to make up your mind. You know, you want to hear my thoughts or you don't, because of course I'm gonna give you the honest truth. If you ask me what the problem is, I'm gonna tell you directly what the problem is. You might not like what I gotta say, but you asking for it. So don't ask no questions that you're not prepared to hear the wholehearted truth about. Right?
I feel the same way. I know with me, you know, expressing my feelings was a struggle. It's still a struggle for me. I don't know why. I guess it's me being a man. Of course, like Real said, they always say, well, a man's supposed to be a man. You don't show no feelings and you this, that, and the third. And with me, it's hard to hear the truth sometimes. Hard to go through that whole thing with, expressing my feelings and then you want the comeback of it. So, you know, it's just a
So,
hard situation to deal with.
so the question I'm going to ask you too is,
Mm-hmm.
are you in a place now where you are okay with expressing your feelings and emotions, or you're just not quite there yet?
I would say no. There's still things that I could be thinking that I might not say because I know deep down whoever is not ready for that real response, you know, and I've experienced that. So and it makes you kind of after the first couple of times, it makes you kind of just go back and bottle up like, what's the
Mm-hmm.
point? If I tell you how I feel and your response to it is kind of a negative response versus an understanding response, it make you feel like you're wasting your time. And it kind of originates, I guess, from how you was in our age group. I come up in, I ain't gonna tell my age, but I came up in a time where it won't like some of these little soft dudes here in this younger generation where they don't have real male figures in their life. I had male figures in my life, whether it might not have been my father per se, but I've always had male figures in my life, and I was raised with that machoism, like toughen up, boy, get up, you better not cry. So that's just how I came up. So to to come in the house and tell my mama, oh, I scratched my knee. Hell, my mama would have slapped the hell out of
Yeah.
me. So I learned at an early age, you ain't dead, you all right.
So would you having a son, right? And your son come in the house crying. And most of the time kids when they come in the house they're crying, they come to the mama. But you as a father and you're standing there, would you tell your son to stop crying or would you say, well son, let me look at it and see? And then after you look at it and see, you're like, oh, that's nothing. Go ahead and so what how would you
Now, I don't have a son, but I think because of my experiences, I would do things a little different. I would teach him to be a man, but I would also teach him to be human per se.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't be afraid to express yourself because I think not expressing myself has held me back in a lot of ways. I probably missed out on a lot of opportunities because I wasn't ready to express how I truly felt about a situation, whether it was work or a relationship, friendship, could a multitude of things. It's not just relationship things. I've had the same issues at work. I've been working the same job for 22 years, and there's been point times in my career where I really wanted to give them a piece of my mind, but I know it probably wouldn't have been a good career move. But then the flip side of that, I've learned that it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So
Deliverance.
yeah,
Yeah.
being
deliver?
being more seasoned now, I know how to deliver my point without coming across as in a negative way per se, or making someone feel a certain type of way about it.
Do you feel like sometimes they feel like, some people say a man ain't supposed to like show emotion as far as just be in a situation with just anything, as far as crime, anything.
Yeah,
How do y'all feel about that?
You want his perspective?
Yeah,
Uh,
let me
go
get
ahead.
his. Yeah, either one.
Go ahead.
no, it's well for me personally, I don't see it being a problem. Like I don't have a problem when I run across a man or have ran across a man and he's expressing his feelings and his thoughts. I don't have a problem with it. I don't think that he's soft. I don't think that he's weak. I don't think none of that. Now, my experience of, in the past when, I there's an argument or whatever, and I'm like, you did some bitch shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And so,
yeah.
not to say that you're a bitch, you just did a
The
bitch
way you
move
was moving.
because you was moving petty.
Yeah,
Like that's some stuff that a female would do.
yeah,
So sometimes I think that sometimes men can misperceive us saying that as a woman,
yeah,
just not she's calling you a bitch. It's not that she don't feel like you shouldn't cry or you shouldn't have emotions or feelings. It's just that in her opinion, because we all have opinions,
yeah.
and it's like, okay, I just feel like, what I'm saying, like that's a girl move,
They,
whether it's your homeboy, your husband, your boyfriend, or what I'm saying, whoever, your dad, your brother, whatever. Like, really,
what they say, you call it how you see it.
just sometimes. And
Yeah,
then it's like, okay, well, I ain't gonna say nothing no more. I don't think because you don't get the response that you want from a woman, you should shut down either. Because
no,
that's not cool. You're shutting down because you're not getting the response that you want from her, or whom, whether it's your mother, your sister, your wife, whoever. So I'm just not gonna say anything anymore because I don't like the response. Well, maybe they're not mature enough to understand where you're coming from. It doesn't mean that you should not talk to the next female
yeah.
about something. You understand what I'm
Or
saying?
they don't
So,
understand how you delivering it.
right. So, communication and showing emotions and talking about the way that you feel, it's okay to take the time to deliver it to where as though they can understand it. not just the way you understand it, but the way that they understand it.
I agree.
Just my perspective,
Yeah.
Well, you
from a
know
woman's perspective.
what's more important than communication is comprehension. So if a man's standing there pouring himself out to you, whether he's crying or whatever, and you look at him and say you just pulled a bitch move, how do you not
How
expect him to take
Well,
that
I'm not
as you calling him
how
such?
you supposed to get in?
right. So now I get that piece. I'm not saying if he's standing there like me and you talking and you standing there, you're pouring out to me and you're saying, you know what I'm saying, like Rach, like this is XYZ, and I'm like that's bitchy to me. I wouldn't do that. Now, if I Rachel see you doing something and we having a conversation, I'm trying to get conversation from you, trying to get clarity of your actions. I'm like that was some bitch ass shit that you did. And then, oh, you calling me a bitch? And then you just, that's why I don't want to talk to you. That's why I ain't saying nothing. That's why
Yeah.
it is. No, I said what you did, not what you said.
Yeah.
So, because there's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference. So, but now I don't feel, but I know that there's some women that will. You know, all he do is whine and complain, and he just so emotional and so attached. Well, I mean, you can have one that's not emotional, that's not attached, that really don't give a shit. So, you know, you got to pick and choose what you want. And sometimes you got to help just balance.
Yeah.
And us women got to learn how to tone it down to make them feel comfortable enough
Cause you got
to
some women don't
want
even
to.
understand if a man expresses himself to a female. So you got some women out there don't even they can't comprehend anything that you're saying. Like you can just tell them, how you feel about them, and they thinking you being soft. I'm just like,
They think,
that's crazy.
right, you being soft or he just ain't, you know what I'm saying,
Do
thug
you
enough
want do
for
you
me.
want somebody to love you? Like, do you
Right.
want to
That's
show
y'all
you
problem.
emotion?
Y'all want them thugs till they start going upside y'all damn head. Then you don't want
Yeah,
that thug no
yeah,
more.
yeah.
All of a
So,
sudden you want Mr. Sensitive and shit.
well, I
You
mean,
I
that,
can't be Ralph Tresvant and Bobby Brown. Which
No,
one you want?
it
well,
don't
they was in
mix.
the
It
same
don't
group.
Yeah,
They
mix.
mixed, they mixed, they mixed when they was dancing.
you want Ralph or Bobby.
And then they stop
Either
mixing.
we gonna get high and fight or we
I'm gonna
gonna
take Michael. Shit.
Yeah,
What Michael say? I'm about this business.
that's it. Let me get
But
that bag.
yeah, Mike. But so like you're saying, you're still kind of like that, right, Rayvon? You're still kind of
I
like
am.
that.
I am. It's a struggle with me. I don't really with me. I don't like conflict. When it comes to expressing my emotions, and having to deal with the repercussions of it or the response of it. I don't like the arguing. I don't like the going back and forth because I know with me, things can get kind of crazy. I don't hold back. So I just don't want it to be a situation to where if I'm communicating with somebody, I want it to be a communication thing. If we can't communicate and you can't perceive what I'm saying and we can get through it, then I don't want to communicate with you. And it makes me shut down.
Right. But so now this is something that I noticed that, some men do.
Hmm.
Is it an argument or is it a discussion?
And see, it could go both ways because if like with me, if I feel like I'm expressing myself to you and you're not accepting or responding the way that,
You think that they should,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So we go
yeah,
back to the way that you think that they should respond.
that's correct.
But
That's
when a
correct.
person feel like when the tables are turned and they coming to you and you respond the way that you feel and then they mad at you like well and you
Yeah,
like well this is the way I feel though.
yeah, yeah. And sometimes I just feel like if I'm expressing myself to you, if you're not perceiving it the way that I'm putting it out there, it frustrates me because it's like you're taking it the wrong way. I'm telling you one way, I'm being emotional about it, but then you're taking it a whole nother direction, and that could
It's right, it's not good.
yeah, it's not.
So it sounds like both parties just need to understand
Yeah,
communication skills.
communication.
But
That's the whole thing. Communication.
so are men like that with each other? Because y'all like you go to your homeboy like, you know what I'm saying? She hurt me. Like she really hurt me, whether it's your mother, your sister, your friend, your girlfriend, your wife. She hurt like you're hurt and you feel like you want to cry a little bit. And then you know what I'm saying. You just need because us girls would go and be like, "Oh my god," and we
If you're
just
dealing with a knucklehead, if you're
right. But what I'm saying is,
We ain't gonna
y'all
go
don't.
and say she hurt me. It's more gonna be like, man, let me tell you what this bitch did. And that's just how it's gonna go.
Right, but I'm saying in y'all language, she hurt me.
yeah,
Let me tell
yeah,
you what this bitch
yeah,
did.
yeah.
She X Y Z and whoop de whoop de whoop. But will you show your emotional side in front of your homeboy?
It depends on who that friend is for
I
me.
I've never,
Done it.
I never.
Why?
I mean, that's just not me. Normally, when I get emotional like that, somebody about to get their head took off.
And you know, but so
I'm
would you
that,
say
and that's another
that's the
reason why
you?
I keep it bottled in, because the one thing that really gets annoys me is if I do come forward with something that's on my mind and I'm telling you how I feel about something, the worst thing you could do is immediately flip that into
A joke.
no, not a
Oh,
joke, but just flip that to make it seem like
It's on you.
it's on me.
yeah,
It
yeah,
don't you're supposed to listen to understand, not listen to respond.
yeah,
If I'm telling you something and before I can even get my point across, you already
yeah,
debating back at me.
yeah,
Well, this and that and this. You're not listening to what I'm saying.
yeah,
You only
You
listening
ain't
to
heard
respond,
you didn't heard all you heard enough to
defend yourself.
yeah,
that's it.
yeah,
So that tells me right there you have no intentions on understanding where I'm coming from, or trying to understand my point. You just trying to dead the situation.
yeah,
So
yeah.
at that point, I'm done talking about it.
Yep.
I'm not getting nowhere. I'm
Yeah.
done. That's just me.
That's true. I feel you.
Right, but again, like you said, this is what makes me go off because I it's bottled up. It's inside of me. I can't get it out. So the only way that I can get it out and I can get your attention, and in other words, make whomever sit down, shut the fuck up, or I'm gonna fuck you up.
No,
And in other
I
words,
just go hit the heavy bag.
but I'm saying, but the way that you feel though, you know what I'm saying. And so when it, like you said, when I get to that point,
Yeah.
I'm ready to tear something up. But you're ready to tear something up because you didn't held so much in.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
not a good thing either.
And that is not a good thing to do. And that's why I wanted to have this topic today because, again, you know, him and I, we have a lot of conversations and we have a lot of things that we talk about. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't, but it's our opinion and our perspective of it. But there is a lot of men.
So with y'all, sometimes do y'all agree to disagree and keep it moving?
Yes, I keep it moving.
No,
He
hell
stands
no.
still.
I just shut the hell up. I just stopped talking. I'm done talking
Right.
about
You see what I'm saying? But see, when he's done talking about it, it goes on for 3, 4, 5 days. That's not cool with me
it.
because I
Hell
still
yeah.
feel like you're holding a grudge. You understand?
Yeah,
Like you're
yeah,
holding a grudge and
yeah,
you want
yeah,
something to eat. No. You want this? Yes. It's just
yeah,
a yes or no for the next couple of days. Like we don't yes or no each other.
yeah.
I ain't no light switch. I just can't. When
It,
I'm
it,
mad,
it,
I'm
it get you in
mad.
your feelings a little bit.
It gets me in
Yeah,
my feelings
yeah,
because and then he, you know, he'll say, well, how did you just go back like ain't nothing happened? I go back because I feel like the love is bigger than the problem.
yeah.
That's why I go
It
back.
is. I'm still there. I ain't went
Yes,
nowhere.
you are.
The love's still there.
Yes.
But I'm gonna love you on that side of the couch, and you gonna love me on this side.
And get in the bed and do this down the middle of the cover.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
put
This,
that damn barbed
And
wire
turn
fence
over.
up. Don't touch me. Get your leg off me.
but
Yeah.
but how can your mate or your friend or your homie or your whoever you're having a conflict with, y'all men, how can they understand where you're coming from emotionally and respecting your feelings if you only get to a certain level because they don't understand you right there at that moment you shut down and they ain't, I don't give a damn, whatever, I'm over the cycle just keeps going.
I think with me personally, I'm working on that because I know I have to admit I do have an anger problem. I do. So when it comes to you not understand where I'm coming from, it kind of pisses me off and I don't want to talk no more.
Yeah, you get
so
frustrated.
Yeah,
so
like
so
how do you not I'm telling you what's going on, how I feel,
why
what
you
is there
feel
not
like
to
that?
understand? You
so
know what I'm
have you
saying?
so have you done it? Let me ask you this: do you get into that mode when you have had enough, or do you get into that mode when let me just go and sit and talk and just have a conversation so somebody can understand
Both.
without you being mad?
both, but when it,
Which one do you get the worst response from? When you're mad or when you're not being mad and it's just a chill day and ain't nobody piss you off and you just want to kick and have a conversation? Or
more when I'm mad,
exactly,
more
you
when I'm
want to
mad.
know why?
Yeah,
Your delivery, you have low tolerance. And
yeah,
because you have low tolerance, you're frustrated.
yeah,
And it's like, I'm over it. You
yeah.
was already over it before you even started. That's why you want to talk about it because you over it and I'm tired of you doing it. You get it?
And you
You,
definitely can't talk when you have when you both been drinking. That's just not gonna work.
yeah, no,
Oh, no, 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 no.
it's not gonna work.
I
That's a
don't know
whole
what you
rap in
talking about.
itself.
It's not gonna
You
work.
might as well did that.
Right. And so what I have found is from my own personal experience, and he had to teach me, listen, he would normally think that, I'm interrupting because I am trying to be my own defense attorney. I be thinking in my mind, the way I think and the way I am just trying to explain to you, I'm not here to carry you or look at you fucked up and I didn't mean to do this, but this is why I reacted the way that I acted. Well, now you blaming it on me. No, I'm not blaming it on you. I'm just telling you what made me do what I did. So is that me blaming or is that me giving an explanation? But because it's not what he want to hear, and do you feel like I want a person to apologize when I want him to apologize? I'm asking from a man's perspective
Um, I gotta be
because
honest.
we're trying to
Yeah,
figure out
yeah.
why
I
y'all
mean,
don't
no,
express.
I've done that. I've done that. I've done exactly what you just explained. I've done that. Like just
When you
having
with
a
your
con.
homeboys,
Yeah, just
you been
like
into it with your homeboys before, and there's a like a disagreement or argument or whatever, and y'all just rub each other the wrong way, and
yeah.
because y'all don't talk about it, y'all don't speak. So what does that do when y'all come back around to speak again? Well, like what?
I mean, in the whatever situations I've gotten into with my friends, it's usually resolved right then. Whether we fight it out or
So do y'all?
drink it out.
All right, holler at you later. Do y'all just get in your cars and go?
No, it usually goes on until
Yeah,
one or two things: either we start fighting or we start drinking.
yeah. I got
But either
so
way,
it
when
depends
it's
on the
over,
person.
it's over.
It depends on the friend. If it's a friend that me and you like this, we can argue all night. At the end of the night, we giving each other dab, get home safe, love you,
Yeah.
bro, keep it moving. But if I don't
Even if
deal
we
with you
don't
like
come
that,
to a resolution, it's just
it is what it is.
once we leave each other at that time, when we
Yep.
see each other the next time,
Yeah.
it's whatever.
But if I don't deal with you like that, it might come to blows. It depends on how you carry it. I don't want it to be that way, but it ain't but so much I'm gonna take from you, and we're gonna keep it moving.
Okay, so Lynn says this. She says what she can't stand is that a man will express himself to his friends and not his significant other.
Well, Lynn, I can honestly say it depends on how that female is responding to his expressions. That's just how it is. You got some females, they can go to their boys and talk all day and express how they feel, and their boys understand. But then you got some females that man is dealing with, or that man is dealing with that female, and she either ghetto as hell, or she just ain't, she's not the type to understand where he's coming from. She wants a hard headed. He's expressing being a man and loving her and doing what he needs to do for her, and she just not accepting it. So I mean, it could go either way. It depends on the person.
Or it's just his way of know her way of knowing.
And I would
Yeah,
say there's a difference. Just trying to come up with like an example. So if me and one of my homeboys, if he does something that rubs me the wrong way, 9 times out of 10, especially my close friends, 9 times out of 10, if I tell him, look, man, you did such and such, that was messed up. He gonna be like, damn, my bad, I ain't even realize it, dog. My fault. Bam, we good. With most females, it's like you did such and such, whatever. It turns into where I did there's a for once, and I for once maybe man just want to hear, oh, I didn't realize I did that. My fault. That's it. That's the end of the conversation.
that's it.
It don't even have to be a long
That's it.
drawn out argument. It's
That's
just
it.
you did not realize that you said what you said to rub me the wrong way. It's called being human.
Yeah.
It don't even call for a debate or an argument or nothing.
Nah.
It's just acknowledging, okay, now I understand why you got upset. Okay, cool. It's not saying you wrong. It's not saying who's wrong, who's right. It's
Yeah.
just acknowledging.
Yep.
Don't
Acknowledging,
instead of
apologizing, and
instead of
redirecting.
immediately
That's
becoming
it.
defensive, acknowledge you
Hmm.
understand where that person comes from. If you start doing that with your man, I promise you, he will open up to you. He won't hesitate to tell you what's on his
Oh
mind.
yeah. Hear what they want. So not really hearing what you are trying to. That's all again, Lynn. It depends on the person. It
See,
depends on the person and how they taking it. Everybody's different. At the end of the day, I might say something to Raw. We friends. I might say something to her. She might not take it the right way, and I'm not saying it that way. Or it's vice versa. It depends on the person, their state of mind, their attitude, and how they carry stuff.
True that. True that.
and I think that a person is gonna react to you the way that they think of you in your
Yeah,
relationship. If they think of you as a negative person and they think of you as a person that really don't care for them or
yeah,
been sideways towards them, anything you say to them is going to be negative anyway.
yeah,
And if a person looks at you that in a respectful
yeah,
relationship, like I look at you as a respectful friend,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
We're friends, we cool, we've had our ups and downs, bumps in the roads or whatever.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, you're a true friend. That's the way I look at you, and I look at you more on a positive side versus a negative side. So when you come to me expressing your feelings, I'm not gonna feel like you here to pick and poke and
Yeah,
just da 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 to me and
yeah.
break me down, right?
Same here.
I think that sometimes with men, y'all should understand that women are emotional creatures anyway, and we deal with a lot just like y'all deal with a lot. And so when you're not coming to us and you're going to your homeboys or your home girl and you're talking to her more than you're talking to your partner in the same tone, same everything, it's kind of like, okay, I mean, you talking to her, but then it goes back to y'all saying, well, I wonder why though.
I'm gonna answer this real quick, not to cut you
Go ahead.
off. Lynn saying it's not being ghetto; it's the tone that you use. I totally get that. It is not being ghetto. That's just a term that I was using. But at the end of the day, women can use a certain tone too that will shut a man down or make a man feel a certain kind of way. So again, it's just how you deliver it. It could be on either side, babe.
And
Either
then
side.
I would also say from a male's perspective, you got to take into account a lot of times the status of the relationship or where that man sees the status of that
Mm-hmm.
relationship. Trust me, because if he's already checked out, that he's looking for a reason to not listen or whatever. But if he's in it to win it, he gonna listen. As much as she talk, I do listen. I might not respond, but I always listen to her. I ain't got no choice. She talking or sleep too.
We got we got one here, T Pain. Um, but you have these men that act like they don't have feelings for a female in public.
So let's talk about that piece, the
Got you.
feeling piece. So now we're going to switch on to a man expressing his feelings for someone that they genuinely care for. Why is it hard? Why do men play hard to get? I'm gonna say hard to get. They know that they're feeling the female behind closed doors. I tell you one thing, but in public they act like I don't care about her. Whatever, that's just something to do. But then behind closed door, you better not do.
Can I say that? Can I say
Yeah,
that?
absolutely. That's
I'm
what
gonna
they want to
definitely
hear.
answer on that. A real man is gonna show his emotions and his feelings in public for a woman. Period.
A real man or a man that has a true interest in you
A real man that has a true interest in that woman, he's going to show his feelings for her in public behind closed doors. If he really not feeling her like that and he's simply just with her for whatever it is, that's what he gonna do.
behind closed
Behind
doors
closed door, he gonna show you everything he want to show you.
because he there to get something
He did
behind
it.
closed doors
It's a
though.
motive. It's a motive. But if he really
No,
dealing
you got
with you like that,
What he say? Doing what he doing to get what he want.
yeah.
but if he deal with you like that, oh, he gonna lovey dovey you all day, every day, outside, inside, whatever. But there's a motive to him. If the man is not showing you love in public, I'm sorry, I've seen it too much.
But why you sorry? Because real is real.
Well, I'm not sorry. I'm just saying I'm sorry that you feel that way. You should
That very
understand that
violent.
as a man.
I know.
Well,
So
I'm a get a little more into it than just that. And I just think in a lot of cases, you gotta wonder, was that man raised to know how to express his feelings? You know, that's another issue with being comfortable with expressing your feelings. If you were raised, if you if you really never been shown truly how to show your feelings for a woman, or how to truly treat a woman that you really care about, it gets rough. So now you learning through the years. I ain't gonna lie, it took me a long time because yes, I had male figures in my life, but to be honest, the male figures I saw in my life, they was with this one, and so for the longest time, when you see that
Papa was
as
a Rolling
as yeah,
Stone.
you see that as a
Yeah,
kid, as a young boy, when you see your uncles, your grandfather, your dad, when you see them, juggling multiple women around, it's kind of you kind of get the
you
impression,
think it's
okay,
normal.
that's what being a man is about. That's what's gonna make me a macho man.
Yeah.
So you got to learn the hard way. It may take you 40 years to learn it, but you got to be patient with it.
Now, with you saying that, I have a question. With you saying you was raised to see, multiple households going on with one man. Even still, with multiple households going on with one man, that man still showed a certain out of the three women emotions inside and outside the house. Out of the three, he showed that one.
I, I my mother was dating a man. They were supposed to get married for, I don't know, from the time I was like 6 until I was, I think, 15 is when they finally split up. And all those years, and I lived in the house with them most of that time. If I wasn't at my grandmother's house, and all those years, whenever we were out in public, whatever, I've never seen that man hold my mother's hand. I've never seen that man express himself publicly. I've never even seen him in the house express himself to my mother. So that's just what I saw. I've never saw my grandfather.
That's the one she married.
No, that's not the one she married. When my mother got married, I was grown.
Right, but
I
I'm
had already got my mind made up. I'm gonna be a pimp. No, I'm joking. But I'm talking.
Yeah.
I mean, because you got to remember the foundation are those young adolescent years. Those
Yeah.
as a kid, that's where that's when your brain is processing and giving you the impression that this is what it's supposed to be. As by the time I'm 20, 21, my mind's made up
Yeah.
because of what I saw all those years. And that's not to say that that man didn't love my mother. It's just there was no public affection. That was even no, like I said, even when we were all in the house together, they interact normal. There was no hostility, but you never see him
did you see him disrespect her?
towards the end, and that's why they split. As he became disrespectful, she left.
Yeah.
Right. So, and the only reason why I asked that question is that just shows that he just didn't have that emotional piece within him. So he didn't disrespect her, but he didn't show the lovey dovey and all that either. And it's probably because he just didn't know how to.
Right, and
All
that's what we
So
talking
that's
about,
why
right?
I asked
Showing
that question.
feelings.
all
So
that
Right.
that's
stems
what I
from being
say
a
that to
child.
say, just
See,
because that man is not showing you that, those giving you those feelings in public or whatever, that don't mean he think no less of you. It's
yeah,
just he don't know how. Maybe you need. Don't wait for him to grab your hand. You grab his hand. See how he respond to it, or just tell him how you feel about it if you haven't already.
I feel that. I feel
And
that.
sometimes, too, ladies, we can be hardcore. We can be like cold because of what we've been through and what we've seen our mothers go through. So I'm not going to wear my feelings on my shoulder because the last 5 times I did it, I just got dragged.
Yeah.
So when Mr. Right do come along and he's looking like different from what you're used to seeing, you're kind of scared and you shut down and then you're cold. So I think sometimes men can go off of how we are. And y'all tell me if I'm wrong. How we can be too strong and we can be cold and we don't show emotions and we're not even
Because you have
realizing it.
that wall up.
Right. Now do you mind? Do you mind? What did it do for you when I would not I don't know if you was used to this prior to me or not, or you can speak on this and your relationship. when I would, you look nice today. Come here, baby. Give me a hug. Give me a kiss.
It's just something I can't say I was used to. And that's not to say that no one ever told me I look nice, but to hear it on a regular basis
And to
was not
show it.
common. Not even again, not even as a kid. I mean, and doesn't mean I took anybody loved me any less. It just wasn't. It just I could go to some of my friends' house that were had both parents, and I would watch their father leave to go to work or whatever, and he would kiss the mother, "Love you, see you later." I never saw that at home, so I never thought to do that.
Yeah.
But you do it now, though.
I do it now because I've learned.
Mm. But what did it do for you, though, as a man? What did it do for you that I was saying, babe, I love you? Not only was I saying it, I was showing you. And like, did it make you want to open up and understand, like, okay, I'm gonna process this, and
Yeah,
I'm okay with this?
definitely, definitely. Oh, once you start to get used to it, the first couple times you hear it, you just think, she just trying to get in my pants.
She try to get that D.
She trying to get some digging.
Chicken and digging.
But no, I mean, after a while, you realize it's genuine. This is life. And again, I'm saying this as a 40-plus-year-old man. Would I've had the same perspective when I was 30? I might not have. But through the years and the experience, I know anybody, that's what you should want. You should want to feel that love. You should want to feel that want. That's what makes a house a home. So I'm making my point. You, kids, even my bonus kids, when I see them, when I leave them, hey, I love you. That I don't never want that to be a doubt in anyone's mind that's close to me like that.
That word is big.
Because it was
means
something
a
I
lot.
doubted
Yeah.
for a long time.
Well, too, some people use it so freely, though.
And that's you
So,
can't use that too freely.
so
But like in his situation,
in
like
his situation,
with you,
but
his bonus
I
kids, his
feel it.
kids, it's like for instance, if I was his bonus kid, you know what I'm saying? If that's my dad telling me that, I'm like that's gonna carry on me all through the week for days.
Right.
It's a feeling. You know.
Yeah, and I think it's a great thing.
Oh, it's awesome to
It's a
me.
great thing,
Yeah.
and it was, what I'm saying. So the reason why I brought that up is because, ladies, sometimes when your partner doesn't, because I know some of you are on here because it's your partner, or it's the man that you're in liking with, or whatever. You know what I mean? Because this is an adult group, but sometimes it's okay for us to show love and affection and to let him know that you are special, you are strong, you are a great man, you will be okay, and I got your back. We can't always expect for them to pick us up and take us away and rescue us. We need to rescue them too. And along with saying it, we have to show it. And just having sex with them and making them a meal all the time is not always showing it. Sometimes we have to go the extra mile as well. So, it's okay to say, babe, you look nice. You look good. Like I tell him, you look nice. You look good. We joke, we play, the gray sweatpants, the white tee.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
like, you look good. And so, like for him, he was saying, I wasn't used to it. So it's like, whatever. And I'm like seriously, like you really are a nice looking man. Like you're nice. I love you. Like you are the best man that I've. So it's okay for us to say that and pour into them the way that they want us to pour into them. And even if you have a partner and he's not pouring into you as much as you think he should, sometimes we have to look where they come from.
Yeah. Have a conversation. Have a
So
Where
conversation
they
with
come
him.
from.
Yeah.
Where did
I
you
was
come
just
from?
glancing at what Lynn said on her last
I
question
was looking at that too.
Mhm.
about how come a man,
I'm gonna let you take that.
basically a man, when he starts off, he's doing all this, whining, dining, and he, caressing, rubbing,
That
feeling.
on
Then all of a
100.
sudden it comes to a stop. That's a good question. That's a good question. I know there's been a point with Raw that she felt like I wasn't being as touchy feely as I used to, but she brought it to my attention. So now I make sure I tap that ass every time he walk past. Just get a quick little tap, and she happy. No, seriously. Sometimes it's just a matter of honestly, and in that particular situation, like I told her, I just felt like it became complacent. It was like, yeah, I was doing it, but it was to the point where there was really nothing. I wasn't sure if it was really anything to it, but any,
Any substance.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was just I was just doing it, but I didn't think it would make a difference when I stopped. So, but the minute I stopped, she brought it to my attention. So okay, so she do pay attention to stuff like that I do.
But it took for me to bring it to his attention and not strictly assume that it was another woman or what's going on or he doesn't care about me. And now I will say, it was in my mind I thought it, but then I'm like, before you think it, process it, and play on it and react to it,
Don't react
bring it
first.
to his attention.
Yeah.
Have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because but then you told me too. I just got some things going on within me,
Yeah.
because sometimes it's not that you're not attractive to your partner. It's not that the partner has done anything to you. It's that I just got some things going on within me, because sometimes we can work, and get caught up in just trying to survive
Well,
and
if you even get
provide.
stressed out and you got your mind on something, you're not thinking
Yeah,
about,
and,
oh,
and and that's kind of part. That was part of it too. It wasn't. It had nothing to do with me not seeing her as being sexy or attractive anymore. I had some things. I was processing some things that I was dealing with, as far as work, all kinds of stuff. So I was easily distracted
yeah.
from what I should have been doing. But
If your mind is not at
the
ease,
key to it is you got to let them know how you feel.
mm-hmm.
That's all. Just a simple question, or hell, tap him on his ass every now and then. Give him a hint. Sometimes that's what it takes, you know. But don't just assume that it just stopped, or that it stopped because he got what he want now. He comfortable. Nah. Or give him something a little different. Do something. Walk in the room a little different than you normally walk in the room, and grab his attention. Maybe he's just used to seeing you the same way. And I'm only putting this out there. I'm not just saying you do, but it could be something so simple as that. Put your blonde wig on.
Throw some stockings on, cut the ass out,
Yeah,
something.
something. Try something. Try
Let
something.
the runs hang down
Let
the
the
Yeah.
back.
bros hang
Don't give
down,
up on it.
do
Try
something.
something. See what's popping.
Yeah.
But
If you end up pregnant, it ain't my fault though.
Hey,
so again, with y'all men, what tools would you give the men that's on this feed that's watching about expressing their feelings and emotions to whomever, whether it's their children, their daughters, because their daughters really need to see it, because so
yeah.
their daughters need to identify it's okay that a man acts like this when I get older, because that's what it means. Because if she don't see her father do it, then you y'all got to understand
Yeah.
that piece too. If a girl doesn't see her father do it, and then the boy comes along and do it because his father didn't told him the correct way, the right way, that it's
Hey, she think
okay,
it's wrong.
she think it's wrong, or she
Yeah.
think it's something wrong with him or whatever. But what advice would y'all give the men that's struggling, and yourselves that's struggling with communication
In all honesty, I'm gonna tell you what
and
I had
emotions?
what I had to do some years back before I even met Raw, and this probably what opened up the door for me to get into this relationship. I got to the point where I realized what I was doing to fix my issues wasn't working. So, as much as us, especially black men, hate to admit it, I went and got professional help. I went to see a therapist. I sat there, told them my issues, and it wasn't one of those where they was diagnosing me. The therapist just helped me realize what my problem was myself. So it made me open myself up to different situations, or put some things behind me that some things you can't change. It is what it is. I had to learn I couldn't keep living with the past. As you said, just because I couldn't communicate with one, don't mean I can't communicate with the next one. So you have to at least give it a try.
Yeah.
Don't be put. You can be macho and still be emotional at the same time, in a
Yeah.
sense. I ain't telling you to sit there and cry and all that, but But if that's what you do, that's what you do. But we, as black men especially, we have to stop being afraid to express ourselves
Oh yeah.
to the world, to our loved ones. You know, it's always somebody you can talk to. Find that special one. It's better when you're and it's your significant other. You know, if you can't talk to that one, and you might be in trouble. And mine is a knucklehead sometimes, so
I would
she won't stop talking long enough to let me talk sometimes.
I would have to say for me, it's just all about communication, acceptance, um, just dealing with your issues. You really have to find yourself. If you don't know who you are as an individual, you would never be able to communicate the way you need to. It's just not gonna happen. I know with me, I struggle with that daily. Communicating, um, just accepting certain things in my life and in my past. But at the end of the day, communication is the key, and just be understanding. Be understanding. You have to show your kids. You have to show your other half. You got to show your friends, your family that you can be transparent. If you can't be transparent, that's a whole nother ball game. So at the end of the day, just work on you. When you work on you, understand you, and can be who you are, everything will work itself out.
So, everybody that's on here, if you have any questions that specifically questions that you want to ask, one of the three, now's the time. You either can call in at 804-874-9693. The number is going across the bottom of the screen as well, and it is in the news feed. So you can either call in or you can ask your questions here on the feed. Um, any specific questions that you may have. My perspective is I think that the same way you want somebody to, whether you're man or woman, the same way that you want somebody to understand you, you have to be willing to understand them. A person cannot fix something if you're not letting them know that it's broken. They can't fix it. Once you make somebody aware what they're doing to you, what they need to do to fix it or to work with, you can't hold them accountable. You just can't. It's not going to work. I'm here to tell you. I have seen it too many times, and I'm speaking from experience too. How can I hold XYZ accountable for something they don't even know that they're doing? So if your man or your brother, your father, whomever is not communicating with you and they're not showing you the emotional, the feeling, the love that you feel that you need from them, let them know that. And sometimes a lot of men, they feel like if they buy you and wine and dine you, because for real, I could say 75% of the men in this world thinks money is everything to a woman.
It's power. Yep.
Seriously. And because they think that, that's their way of love. If they're giving you money and they're giving you whatever it is that you desire financially, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to buying something and putting you in a house and buying you a car, they giving you this stuff, but they ain't spending time with you. Why are you looking at me like you can just buy me? But then you're still unhappy. So explain that to them, and don't wait till y'all are married. Don't wait till y'all locked in, had 4, 5 kids. You need to express and explain this in the beginning. That means it comes with understanding each other's love language. Again, when it comes with your father and your brothers, let them know how important it is for you to understand what emotions and feelings is with coming from a male perspective and what does it look like from a male. We all gonna get different things when it come from a man because different men come from different backgrounds and they have different mentalities. So with that being said, open up, talk, express your feelings, and you're gonna have to teach people how to treat you. And if they don't understand, if they're worth it, take the time. I'm not saying spend your life doing it. And if it when it starts to make you feel unhappy
Yes, sir. Yeah.
and it starts to tap into your peace, then move past it. So you can get what you desire when it comes from a man.
And you gotta think about something else too. being judgmental, that would make somebody shut down and not want to express their feelings.
Yes.
You got to be open. You got to be open. You can't be judgmental. I mean, I'm not telling you not to be, but when it comes to your other half, you really have to be open. Do what you do on the outside, but when your other half, when it comes to your other half, your kids, you have to be open minded and just work on just being open minded, period. Because people will shut down and don't even want to talk to you or express their feelings or emotions because they think you're going to judge them. I've been through that. And it's a hard pill to swallow, I'm telling you. Not a good feeling.
And it made you shut down.
Shut completely down.
And
Completely.
now, do you feel like that's the reason why
That's
you're
why I
kind of still
struggle.
shut
Yeah,
down
that's
now?
why I struggle with it.
So what are you going to do to fix it?
Um, to fix that, some of the people that I know were judgmental towards me, and I kept trying to work on that relationship with them. I dismissed them. I had to.
Now, did you dismiss them in silence, or did you dismiss them
Period.
with letting them know?
No, I
And
let
then
them know at first, and then it was a continuance. So I just completely dismembered myself from them because my feelings are important to me. My mental health is important to me. So if you can't understand where I'm coming from or understand who I am as a person, then I don't need to be around you because that's messing with me. I can't focus on who I am and build myself up. So you being judgmental towards me, if I can't talk to you, every time I talk to you is something that's judgmental, but it's like kind of on the slide. I can read between the lines. I'm not crazy. I'm
mm-hmm.
very smart and educated, but I'm kind of skeet the other way.
All right.
You know,
So T says, I'm tired of giving my all. Now I'm at the point where I don't care. When I get what I give, basically. When I feel like I'm getting 50-50, I'm going to give 50-50 back. But T, that's something you should do anyway from the jump. You never, me personally, I'm not giving you 100% of me unless we had a whole conversation that that's what we're going to be doing for one another. And after the conversation, if your actions doesn't follow up with that conversation, then, you know, even exchange is called no robbery.
we got Tamika Rollins. That's it. Got to be around people that are conductive to your growth and well-being. That's absolutely correct.
Yep.
You have to. When you're around people that are conductive to your growth and your well-being, you will definitely grow, and you have a good vibe with them, and they can even help you grow. Maybe even build a bond. It depends on what your relationship is.
Right on.
Did you have any closing remarks?
Uh, Lynn, keep fighting, keep
That's it,
trying.
baby.
I don't know your whole situation, where you at, how long you've been in that relationship, but I would challenge you to maybe you need to get deeper into who that person is that you're talking about, as far as their background, uh, how they came about, how they came up, to give you a little more insight on how to receive them. And I say that to anybody going forward. Same thing with T and you giving up. I think one of the biggest mistakes we make in the dating scene is sometimes we jump in too quick. We think we know a person, but we really don't. Yeah, you date a couple times. Yeah, you might he tell you his mama name, but do you really know him, or him or her? Do you really know where they're from? You know, the type of neighborhood they grew up in, parents, so forth and so on. So let's get a little more deeper in the background. It's like working for the feds. Do a thorough background check on that. So yeah.
And two, um, ladies, because I've seen on the thread where men do one thing, start out one way and end up another. We do the same thing though. We start out one way and we end up another.
I ain't lying.
Both
1 minute you
sides.
go into
Both
bed all
sides.
sexy and
So
all
Then
that,
you got
got
on
your
a
hair, you got
bonnet,
got your
big
negligee
T-shirt,
on or
slop
whatever.
socks,
Next thing you know, come out the bathroom with damn hair rollers in your head and
holes in your
damn
drawers.
holes in your damn draw, damn bloomers pulled up over your navel and all. The hell? Who is the anime? Get your ass up. Get your ass out my
I don't have no holes in my drawers, and I don't wear rollers to bed. But I
damn.
will put my wig on the dresser for your ass because we got somewhere to be in the morning. Now
Mm.
you might see my hair, my
Except you go grab and snatch.
yeah, you might see her on the dresser with her rollers in her. You know what I'm saying? And that's real talk. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Scared the
So,
hell out of me.
brother, scared you? Or not? But look,
Is she on a
but
dresser on the
but look,
bed?
I don't know
but
what the
look.
hell.
When I get dressed the next day, damn girl, you look good. I
Yeah.
don't know if we gonna make it up out this house or
Up in the middle of the night pulling out guns, ready to shoot holes in the wall and shit. Who is that
not.
sitting there? Where you come from?
Hey, ladies,
Oh.
y'all ever be in the middle of the intercourse having sex? You got your wig on, you gotta hold that jump so
Yeah.
it don't kind of
Hey,
slip
you ain't
back and
gotta hold
slide.
it. I'm gonna throw that motherfucker like a graduation cap. Woo! It gonna be on the ceiling fan in the morning.
But
Oh.
so back what I was saying is sometimes we change too, and again, give what you receive, and what you receive you give.
Yeah.
And just because a person treats you a certain way, stop acting like a wife and a girlfriend to a friend. If y'all are friends, don't act like a girlfriend. If y'all are boyfriend and girlfriend, don't act like a wife. It's levels to this shit.
Stop
You understand?
assuming.
Because if you're giving the wifely duties in the girlfriend role, then put a ring on it for what? And but when they do put a ring on it, when they do the extra thing, what is it that you have to give them to make them feel like, yes, I didn't elevate it?
Yeah.
Not just her, but I didn't elevate it. Now I received this, and vice versa for the men too. Vice versa for y'all too. Stop giving, 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 giving. You give in increments and you give in levels so you understand what you're getting and you're receiving. So that way, because once a man is hurt, that's it.
Yeah.
You can once you hurt a man, and that's a whole nother podcast. That's a whole nother topic.
Oh
Once
Lord.
they are
Yeah.
hurt once, oh God,
Yeah.
everybody after that is just screwed. So
We're gonna dig you down and keep it moving.
you hear me?
But that is true.
Chicken
That
and
same
dick.
thing go for the men.
And you don't get no
These
chicken with
women,
me.
we can't treat them.
I'm gonna give you dick in it. That's it.
You
Get on
can't.
out.
You can't
You
treat them
can't
like
even
a
wipe
wife
off.
off top. Take your time with it. Get to know that person.
Yeah.
Make sure that person is wife worthy.
Yeah.
Keep that. Be a friend before you try to take it to that immediately to that next level. Thinking she fine, man. I got to bag this one. I got to keep.
And just because she
9 times
fine,
out
it
of
don't
10,
mean
if she
she
look good,
wine.
she crazy as
And that's the
hell.
thing. They don't know levels.
Yeah, and
Like
just
you
because
said,
she
like
fine.
if their wife, you don't treat a one night stand like wifey. You can't do that. Or a friend, or if friend with benefits. You can't treat them with wifey
Get,
benefits.
get to
Because
know. Get
what
to
is
know.
your wife
Cause like you
really
said, a
going to
woman
get?
is an emotional creature.
Yes.
So she
She
gonna
is
say,
going to
"Oh, he
become,
loving me like that."
and then when you
Then
get
when
to
she gets
that
psycho,
piece,
he looking crazy.
but two, you treating your friends with benefits, there's no obligation there. You're treating her
Mm-mm.
like a girlfriend, like a wife.
You can't even
You
stay
know
over.
that you don't want to be with her, but this is the way that you're treating her. Then when you finally look at this girl and be like, "Dag, that's wife right there," and you treat her in that caliber because you're determined that's your
Yeah,
wife because she has the qualities, she has everything. She make you want to put a ring on it.
yeah.
Then, here come this right here.
That's
Well, he
it
treat me the same way. Well, how is she gonna feel special?
at all.
But again, men, be mindful what you're doing when you're doing it. And make sure you express your feelings and emotions to who you need to express it
And you
to.
gotta have common sense. If they ain't got common sense, it's a wrap. I'll just be honest with you.
What happens when a man hurts a woman? So, Lynn, we will talk about that on another podcast. And like I said, you guys, we will also, you can inbox me, Real Rayvon, your topics, and we'll pull a topic out of the hat and we'll discuss it. And then, like I said, you can always call in. You can come to the studio, hang out with us, and we can have a whole sit down, all of that. But
Yep.
we appreciate y'all. Also, I want to inform y'all that on, let me look it up, make sure I got it right.
We definitely appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Nothing but love and respect.
The annual the second annual gospel expo that's going to be taking place here in Richmond off of Jenk Road 6335. A lot of you might know 6335, but it's going to be the second annual gospel um expo next Sunday and it's $20 for a ticket. So come out, hang out. I will be there.
I'll be
Um,
there also.
yes, we will. We will be in the building. We will be there, um, just to get some of that, that golly in us.
Yeah,
But
churchy.
again, we thank you all for joining us. Appreciate it. The conversation was real. Um, we enjoy talking to y'all. Don't forget, if you have a topic, you have any concerns, inbox us. Let us know.
We
We'll
can
put
have
it in the
wine Sunday,
bag.
right? Because it's church.
You see that?
Going to hell.
You see? You see what I'm
Hey,
saying?
We
hey,
out.
Anyways, enjoy. Don't forget, and also I'm going to post the flyer for the gospel here in Richmond. And so, love you guys. Take care of yourselves. And again,
peace.
treat people the way you want to be treated. Men, it's okay to express your feelings and your emotions. If a woman don't understand it, she can't respect it. That shows you a lot right there.
Mm.
She don't respect you. She don't understand it. She a little messed up. You understand what I'm saying? And sometimes you're gonna break it down to her, sweetheart, you got a son, just
Yeah.
like I was once a son. I was once a little boy.
Yeah.
Now I'm a grown man, so it's okay. And sometimes
You
y'all
was a
gotta teach
boy.
us.
Oh.
Yeah,
What the
baby.
cut that
Ow!
off.
Cut it off.
What the
don't.
Hey, I caught that. I ain't think you was gonna
Miss
see that.
Shirley, we gonna talk about this.
You get what you give. Love, respect, and communication. Got to.
Yes, and y'all know what I'm saying. I was speaking from a man's perspective, so
Scared
Let,
you, didn't it?
let me do the man perspective speaking from now on. I don't want no damn
Look, from
confusion.
now you.
Hell,
we'll
chill,
make them
boy.
confused.
Y'all have a good night.
Y'all have a good night.
Good
Thank
night,
y'all for
y'all.
joining us.